Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, Life, Law, Bin. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's great to be back. I know I haven't been with you. I haven't released an episode in a little while, and that's simply because I've been very busy. But look, on the bright side, I found a moment to record and to join you today. So I want to talk to you about the rest of the pupillage journey, second six, Notting Hill Carnival 2024, and obtaining tenancy because I'm a tenant now. So I'll start with second six, and I've decided to structure this episode into question and answers because the aim of the episode is to provide some insight on second six, so that may be beneficial for those currently undertaking second six and those embarking on second six soon. And even for those people who are just interested in pupillage and what it is really like. So, my first question, what was my diary like in second six? It was very busy. It still is busy. I undertook lots of small claims, applications. I started in March 2024, and by April, I had a 4-day employment final hearing. Shout out to my clerks who definitely thought, and they were right, that I could handle it. And I did so effectively, obviously with the support of my supervisor, but I'm really proud of my performance there. So it's 4 to 5 days essentially in court per week, plus paperwork. That brings me neatly to the next question. Where were my hearings located and how did I get it wrong? Well, I took public transportation, mostly the train, and I walked. Got to get those steps in. So I got those steps in. And just to give you a flavour of where I've been across the UK, so I've been to hearings in Lincoln, Leeds, Manchester, Stoke-on-Trent, Burnley, Barnsley, Nottingham, Derby, Newcastle, Gateshead, North Shields, Bradford, St Helens, Darlington, Birmingham, and these are just to name a few. I've also had remote hearings, and as you can hear from this, there's a lot of travel involved in this job. How did I find the judges in general? Well, I found advocacy before judges to be quite pleasant in general, but I know that you may probably want to know whether or not I encounter difficult judges. And to that I say, judges are human beings, and just like human beings are, they're amicable and people, and they're challenging or more difficult people. And I find that the key is to never get flustered. Never get flustered if you find that you're having a bit of a difficult time, or a judge is being a bit difficult, or you think the judge is being a bit difficult. Feel free to release your emotions outside of the courtroom, in my opinion, in a private room, or vent to your co-pupils or your supervisor in a private room. But I personally found that in the courtroom, you must take pride in being professional and polite. You are there to represent someone in what may feel like their biggest challenge in their life. It's not about you. It's not about your how you feel in that moment. It's about the client. So it's never a good idea to anger or aggravate your decision maker by being discourteous. So just get on with the job. Remember your objectives. Remember the outcome that you are desirous of obtaining, and just remember to be professional and polite. But I say that, I've got to say B. Most of the judges that I encounter were always pleasant. Most of them were always quite helpful in terms of the progress of the case. So don't worry yourself about that. How did you go about learning to manage your practice? Well, I was previously an advocate with Quest Legal Advocates and LPC Law, and that role taught me a lot actually. That role actually provided me with the scaffolding in terms of advocacy, the advocacy practice in real time, in front of real judges and dealing with real cases, the scaffolding that you need to know the job. to really get to grips with the job. So I was grateful to be an advocate, and I was grateful for that role. But more specifically, that role taught me to a certain extent about managing my diary and avoiding diary clashes. So top tip, be wary of being allocated to more than one case when one of your cases is on a block list or a floating list. So you've got to be careful, and there's certain courts as well that are notorious or known for, on a block list, that there's so many other cases that are blocklisted at a particular time. So you would know that even if your case is listed at 10 a.m. on a block list, you can be in the court building until 4 p.m. And it could be a situation in some of these courts, and in my experience, that quite a few judges may be unsympathetic about a diary clash when one of your cases was on a block list, and particularly if you're in front of a different judge. So they may be more sympathetic if a case was listed at a particular time and then something occurred which caused you to be late to the next matter. So just be wary, just know that although we have clerks, you also want to keep an eye on your diary, and you also want to get to know some of the courts and how they work, and just to know really, is this feasible? Will I be able to deal with a matter that's block listed at 10 and also get across to another matter which is listed at 11 or half 11? So, know that, be on the ball there. Remember that managing your practice as well includes self-reflection and monitoring your progress. Be sure to keep seeking guidance, keep asking questions. And that's something that I did throughout Second Six. As I was writing my attendance notes, I thought about what I learned. I thought about the areas that I excelled well in, especially in my advocacy. And then I thought about the areas, okay, I just want to ask a quick question about this. And so it's very important to keep asking questions. You also need to monitor your finances as well. You want to create a spreadsheet which records your cases and their fees. You can track the matters that you've been paid versus those which weren't paid. So that's a good way to know, what matters have been paid versus which weren't, and just keep an eye on how your money is streaming in. What did I enjoy about Second Six? Well, I really enjoyed having my autonomy, setting my own schedule. I know that I was responsible for getting to court by a certain time, and it was up to me. So for me, I think it was a real responsibility that I had for the cases. You're representing your own client now. It's you on the line. You're building your brand. So I really quite enjoyed that. I also enjoyed obtaining advice from my supervisor and other barristers in chambers. That's always been incredibly helpful. So I did enjoy quite a lot about Second Six. That brings me very neatly into Carnival 2024. Now, this occurred a few days before I gained my offer for tenancy, and what a celebration indeed it was. It felt great to receive that offer. But just a bit about Carnival, it was good to just book a few days off, go down to London, meet up with friends, and just have a good time. Have a good time with people that you enjoy being around. We always plan something around that time, and it was good to be on the road, paint, powder. It was such a time was had, and you really need that. You really need the break in Second Six. Pupillage is a marathon, so do book in those days for holidays and do the things that you enjoy. I'm sure shortly you will see a video about just showing just a little glimpse into Notting Hill Carnival 2024 for me.
That I'm playing mass, boy. I never see this. Only one thing I they in charge of jam, boy. I never see this.
Right. So just after Notting Hill Carnival, I was provided with the news that I obtained tenancy. That was fantastic. That was great. It's good to be a member of Chambers. My name is up on the wall. That's incredible, and I worked incredibly hard to get here. So I'm really, really pleased. Now you may be wondering, does second six feel any different to tenancy? No. The only real difference is that any pressure that or you may put on yourself during pupillage is removed once you get tenancy. No one really in Chambers is putting that pressure on you, but you want to perform, you want to succeed. So you do still know that pupillage is that year where you are still in a way proving yourself. So once you get tenancy, you feel great. You just feel like, oh, that's a weight lifted off. But now it's time to build your brand. So you want to continue performing exceptionally well, sorry. Just a quick checklist for tenancy. So when you obtain tenancy, there's just a bit of paperwork and logistics that need to be in order. So your provisional practicing certificate will be for a period exceeding the end of pupillage. You already know that. So you will need to apply for a full practicing certificate once you're signed off and the relevant paperwork is submitted. All right, so you'll get that done. That's step one. You also need, the second thing you need to think about is your insurance. You must purchase insurance. And I'm sure you know that. You would have done your ethics. You would have done your ethics either on the bar course or both on the bar course and or during pupillage. And you'll know that all self-employed barristers are required by the Bar Standards Board to purchase their primary layer of professional indemnity insurance from Bar Mutual, right? Remember that in second six, you were under your supervisor's insurance. You're now on your own insurance. So make sure you've got that set up. You've got to purchase that insurance. So get on with that. And thirdly, don't forget to inquire about the fees that you will be paying to Chambers as a tenant. Different chambers have different approaches. There may be variable fees, there may be fixed fees. Get to know about the fees plan. In essence, find out when the first payment is, inquire about the cost of subscriptions, etc. You're a member of Chambers now, so there will be things undoubtedly that you didn't know in pupillage that you have to know now as a tenant. So do get on with that. I just want to take this moment out to give a massive shout out to my co-pupils who all secured tenancy. As we would say at home, big up on ourselves, really big up on ourselves. Like this is a big deal. It's a great big deal. You're now barristers. It really is a huge congratulations. It's a huge, huge, huge moment. So huge congratulations to those who secure tenancy. It's not an easy feat at all. And with that, I've just got to say to myself and to those of you who have been following my journey and who've been watching Life Law BIM, can you imagine that this little girl from a land of rhythm and tempo with a landmass of only 166 square miles has successfully obtained tenancy? That's incredible here in England and Wales. So don't you ever for a second think that you don't have what it takes to conquer your challenges. Now, even if you don't believe in God, you are a masterpiece, surely one of a kind. You can and you will succeed. So dream big, set your objectives, and execute. You need a plan. You need a plan to execute your vision. Remember, you are destined to make your mark. That's a wrap, folks. It is always a pleasure. Take care of yourselves. Bye now.